A.J. Brown. He's been torching secondaries all season, now closing in on 1,200 yards. It's the Cards and the Hawks, and it's all up next.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first return. The ball on the tee, we're set for football. And off we go on EA Sports. This fielded right at the goal line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And they'll be... who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now back to throw. Steps away. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kevin Farley. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This taken in at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you. Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2 in second down now. These two teams getting a couple of late season tilts this year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in week 12. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
No surprise at all. Man, early in this one, the only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Here's James returning. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. And now he'll fire deep downfield for James. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. And now he'll fire deep downfield for James. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early and give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Taken at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They find themselves in a good-size hole here, and a good-size hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
2nd and 11. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Kayvon Thibodeaux coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Now comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And the division title, that's out of reach. We know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
Partner's not out of the question, especially with the 7 seeds that they have now in the playoffs. If you do win and the other wild card teams win in the first round, you could find yourself with a home game in the divisional round. Now, we know that's not likely, but it's not out of the question. Bottom line, you have to win to put yourself in that position.
And now he'll fire deep downfield for James. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest with a guy with that type of speed. You do so. Send him deep. Try to throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Cardinal offense takes back over. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Caleb Farley. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got
touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. Doing it again with his third touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 28-0. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position. And only one play to score it. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. This taken in at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter.
Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
James has got it, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Herbert on first down now. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Justin Herbert taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Seahawks open the lead up to 34-0. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes this 35-0 now. We are in for a good one as we're through one. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is into the weekend in the NFC.
Well, here we sit, week 17. Just one more week in the regular season after this one. So if you're one of these teams trying to make a move and improve your spot or jump in from the outside, Charles, you better make that move now.
And these final games are often a good barometer for all those teams fighting for position or a wild card spot. They have to be able to get the job done these last 2 weeks before things get even tougher when the playoffs officially begin.
And he can muster only a couple here to the 24.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. They'll set up to throw. Now he'll let it go deep right side.
And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
On 2nd and 10, the ball back with Herbert. It's complete. He finds Falk here. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 27 yards there, a first down. Now it's Herbert. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Traditionally, as a defense, your number one job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacting the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable. And so far, they've not been able to do that.
Not at all. He's been really comfortable in the pocket. 3 touchdown passes already.
So that could be an important...
He's got a man complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Quez Watkins with career touchdown number 70. And the Seahawks are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinals offense ready to set up shop. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. They'll set up a throw. The pass caught by Olave. Finding room at midfield. Loose inside the 30. Chris Olave. Touchdown, Cardinals. Chris Olave. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals are able to claw one back. Boswell good with the extra point. And they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here we go on 4th. Herbert. And this is caught. That's Watkins. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the 50, here's Herbert. Got his man complete over the middle. That's James. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning.
throwing again. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Herbert takes it and just pops it forward.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Herbert. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. The coverage good, the pressure good, leads to the sack, and it's 3rd and goal now. Now Herbert, 3rd and goal. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down. They snap it to Herbert. To the sideline, wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and that will force a turnover on downs. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They begin on the ground with Kamara. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now a timeout called for by the defense as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. 2nd and 6. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
He's 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. It's caught. Smith. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back to throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Caleb Farley.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
But no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A good gain on 1st has them set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. So we've come.
And we get it. No time to waste. Playoffs starting next week. We skip right over halftime and get back to the action. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. On first down, it's Herbert. And now he'll fire deep downfield for James. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one. Herbert operating from the red zone. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks have got it on cruise control. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Taken at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Jeremy Chinn there defensively. They're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Caleb Farley. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Herbert. He finds his man, complete. It's James. And he's brought down. I tell you, he is closing in on a 300-yard receiving game now. He's maybe 1 catch away as he's got a first there. On 1st and 10, Herbert. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Herbert off of play action. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A great play there. 41 yards.
Under review.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Just a 4-play drive that time, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
2nd and 9 now. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Now this throw caught left side and out across midfield down to the 45. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here 2nd and 8. They run it again with Kamara. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
That was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
A 3rd down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far. The season unfolding, we can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Herbert, and now he'll fire deep downfield for James. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
The Seahawks on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Play action this time for Justin Herbert.
And now he'll fire deep downfield for James.
And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference to see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throw left side complete. That's Brown.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
He'll look to throw. And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Caleb Farley. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over.
Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
Show them what you got.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw.
And now he'll fire deep downfield for James.
And that's caught inside the 30.
And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
It's a big play there for Seattle. 47 yards.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, they've been aggressive, airing it out all game long, and no better evidence than those last 2 snaps. They weren't going to beat this coverage, though, 2 plays in a row, and that one falls incomplete.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need,
and he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. The corner blitz gets him that time as he goes down for a short loss.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
The Seahawks go for it but can't convert, and the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Here's Kamara off the draw. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll drop to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That goes for 14 yards. 1st down, Cardinals. Back to throw here. And his throw is incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They'll look to throw again. And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 34-yard line. Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. So the victory here for Seattle. And it was a game where they were off and running in the
They ain't got no job, need someone to take her home. I hop up in the car, whip like Indiana Jones. Going George Lucas, now I'm out here killing clones. Coming in strong like, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Everybody hit the gas, I be going like a